Today we are going to create a design project. Hello my friends, and let's get started. Some of my supporters asked me to show them how to create a project from the start to the end, so I will do this today, and we will start with a smaller project which is a design for an event. So I have this kind of texture here in the background that I selected from the internet, and I have another picture which are these flowers. They are originally vector, but I converted them to pixel for this picture, and we will use this. The first thing I want to tell you about this is the reason why I selected this, because it introduces a very nice contrast, because you have on the one side the exotic flowers with the nature and the soft textures, and in the background you have this harsh sci-fi kind of cold metal looking structure. So this is a nice and interesting contrast. So let's create this into an interesting design. The first thing I'm going to do is use the background to create some symmetry. So let's zoom out, and I will rotate this by 90 degrees, or maybe the other side. Let's take the other side, and we will find the middle of the picture. So go here to view and say show rulers. This is important, so you can drag out from the side one of your help lines. There we go. And when it starts to become green, this means that's the middle of your picture. That's the middle of your canvas. So we're going to use that as an orientation. And I will push this to the middle, and it should snap. If it does not snap, go up here where it says view and go to snapping manager, and see here it should snap to guides. So this should be hooked, and up here enable snapping should also be hooked. Okay. Now we're going to back to the layer and duplicate the layer. That's important. Make a duplicate. And the duplicate we are going to arrange up here, and then to flip horizontal. Bam. So this will just be mirrored to the other side, and we will just move it to the other side. And you can see we have a red line and a green line, which means we are in the middle of the picture and in the middle of the layer from the height in the picture. So this is centered. And we already have a very interesting composition, which also looks a little bit like a room. Let's select both layers and then hit Ctrl-G to create a group. So we can call this BG for background. So we have this saved, and you might see here's a white line, which is a problem from the software, because if you zoom in, there is no white line. What we can do about that is just duplicate our group, duplicate here, and then rasterize it, which will also reduce the size, and now you can see the line is gone. So this is very helpful for us. The next thing we can do is use the flowers to arrange them in a very interesting way. Let's maybe pull them down here. We can also make them bigger. Let's see, we have to have some place left for the text, but we could put them here. I can rearrange them later, it's not really a problem. But let's go with this. I will duplicate that also. There we go, duplicate. And again, arrange and flip horizontally. There we go. And then we move it over to the other side to a similar position. You can hold shift, so it's moving just in a straight line and not up and down. So let's see, should be around here, should be good. Okay, because there is a lot of stuff going on in the background, what we need to do if we want to put a text here is, or at least this is a trick that I often use, is to create just a black box in the background. There we go. This is white right now. It will turn in black in a second. One moment. There we go. Make it full size. And we can set this to black. There we go. And another thing you can do that will make this a little bit smoother is, let's reduce the opacity to, for example, 25%. And then we will duplicate it. And we will make the second one a little bit smaller, just a tiny bit. Down here, up here. So there we go. And we will maybe heighten the opacity a little bit. Let's see. So it's like this, for example, so we can still see the background. And now we have this little extra line here, which makes it a bit more interesting. We can still Make this also a bit darker. Take a little bit back from the other one. So like this. Okay. So now we have some interesting elements. Let's group the flowers too and group these boxes and always write a name. So this is the black box. So you find your layers later on. And this is the flowers. And now you can also click the group and click up here where it's at least a small lock icon. So you can lock the layers so you're not going to move them by accident. Let's lock everything. And now we are just working with text. So I will go over here and we will create the first text. And there is another part of how to contrast things in your picture. So I will call this Enigma. There we go. There's nothing visible right now. I'm not sure why. Let's set it to white. Oh, because it's behind the background. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's good. This is light. What else do we have? Light italic? No. Light is good. It's called Open Sans. It's a free font, Open Sans. We will put that in the middle somewhere. Like this. Okay. And then when we take another font for our picture, and by the way, you can select this and the group. Wow, this and the group, both layers, holding Control and clicking on the two layers. And then you can go up here to arrange and just click here to align vertically. So the text will be in the middle of the box. There we go. Okay, and now when we take a second font, which I will use up here to write lounge, I want to use another font. Let's see, where is it? I downloaded it today. Not the alien font, Arial, no, this one here. Lounge, okay, that's good. All right, we will set this to black maybe, let's see. Okay, and I mean, okay, let's set it back to white so you can see it at the moment. The reason why I choose this font, oh wait, I have to write it differently. Lounge, like this, yeah, that's good. Okay, you can see now that I have a font like this, which is very plain and straight and abstract, and there is not much to it. And to contrast that, I use a font that is very alive and calligraphic and artistic. So it's always good to combine a font that is simplistic with a font that is artistic, and not use two fonts that are artistic or two fonts that are simplistic. So this they will complete each other when they are from the opposite kind of choice. Okay, let's set this up here, and we will make some neon effects in the background. So I will make this black, and let's go to effects up here and say outer glow. And we can set a nice color, maybe a color we already have in our picture, for example, the nice pink from the flower. And so we can color pick this from here and then just click on the color again so it's up here. And now you can like set the radius to get a nice glow going in the picture. Like this. And we can do the same thing with our other font. There's the middle. Let's make maybe a green glow, either a natural glow or maybe a blue glow. Let's try this. Let's see how this looks. Not too bad. Let's try another color like green or yellow. No, maybe green. That's good. Make it a little bit stronger. There we go. And let's see, I want to have the background a bit darker. Let's make a complete black plane over the background. There we go. And I will just reduce the opacity to see if we find a value maybe that's giving us a more interesting design with the background or with the colors. Maybe also see with the blend modes if we find something that's interesting. How's it with soft light? Okay, that's interesting. It's nice. Maybe make an adjustment layer here for curves and have a little bit more contrast on it. Let's see. Okay. Reduce this a little bit. So there's a lot of playing around involved of how to, how can I say, find the look that is working for you, you know? Okay, next one. And by the way, searching for all these kind of fonts and elements and stuff, this can take a long time. So really don't get too frustrated if you don't find them right away. It can take a pretty long time to find the right combination, but the better your material is, the better your results will be for the final design. And so I wouldn't waste too much time on trying to improve material that is bad. Rather start out by trying to find material that works for you and is interesting enough for you. Let's see with the font if there is something else. I mean, I like Open Sans pretty much. I would like to have something that's even thinner. This one is kind of nice, has a little bit of design to it, just a tiny bit. If we crush this a little bit, how does it look? Wait. With Control T, you can open the window for the font settings. And here, for example, you can have the distance between the fonts. You can change that. You can see you can widen that a little bit. I should go even more, actually. Let's see, 80. It's kind of nice. Maybe 90. Let's go with 90. There we go. Let's push this a little bit deeper here. Should this, I would like this to be a little bit bigger so you can see it better. Maybe have more glow on this. What happens if I duplicate this? Is there, the glow is duplicated too? Oh yeah, that's more intense. Let's see, make another color here, a second color. Make this second glow a little bit smaller so we have a kind of effect of changing light. And that's kind of nice. Whoops, okay, that was not a good idea. 1 second, let's combine these two layers into a group. Okay. Should we do the same thing here? And by the way, we could also try here to create a white frame. Let's see, outline. Set this to white. Make a little bit of a white line. No, that's not good. How's, sorry, 1 second. I have to go back to the group and select the group as a whole. Let's push this up here maybe. Put this below. It's kind of nice. We could try to duplicate this. 1 second, let's duplicate this, pull it over here. Change the text. Call it new. I will lock this so we're not changing the other text too. New. And I want to give it a different color now. Should we take it maybe blue? And the second one a darker blue. Okay. There we go. Or maybe should we take this in green? There's a little bit of playing back and forth to find the right solution. And up here the effect is a little bit too strong. Whoop. No, don't zoom into that. right. You see, I want to put something up here to have kind of a balance of these elements, because if I don't have this, it kind of moves too much to the right side. So probably it's kind of a good idea to have something up there. Let's get this in again. And don't use too much fonts. Decide on something and then stick with it, because if you have too much fonts, it's kind of getting a little bit crazy. Wait a second. Of course, this is just a fantasy kind of thing that I'm writing right now, so the real text would depend on what it's actually going on. Whoa, why is this double now? This is not good. Here we go, both texts. Okay. I'm not too happy with the blue up here. Sorry, let's change this again. Let's pick some of the blue in the background. Where's a nice blue? This is too kind of white. Let's take the other one, make a darker blue. Or this kind of pinkish. Nope, that's too white. Let's go back in here. Make it a little bit brighter, maybe. Here we go. Okay. Good. I think I will leave it at that, because it's also kind of a long tutorial already. So you can see I try to balance the different elements in the picture and the different kind of design structure. So combining a simple font with an artistic font, combining a sci-fi background with organic elements, stuff like that. And because there's so much going on in the picture, to have this kind of black bar over everything to even it out and make the text more readable. Maybe make this text here a little bit smaller and stretch it even more from the font distance. Sorry. Let's go to 150. And another element that is pretty important, especially when you work with text, is to find a text and a font that looks good, but at the same time has a high readability, because otherwise you have the problem that it looks really cool, but nobody can read what you're actually writing. So that's kind of a big problem. There you go. Not 100% happy with the design, because it's always, you would sit down, let it sink in for some time, maybe a day or two, and then get back to the design and look at it again. But for the first stage, basically, for giving you an idea of the design process, this is pretty good. I think this is pretty okay. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Maybe I do a second video on this, improving this design. Write in the comments if you want to see some more work on this design. And if you want to see more of my videos, I do a new one every 3 days, so you might want to subscribe. And if you even want to support me, head over to Patreon, where you can find other benefits like the original file with all the layers, for example, for this project. Okay, see you soon, and thank you for watching. Bye.